Let me begin with something that may surprise you. Aging is not a fixed, pre-programmed process. For decades, we believed that aging was simply the gradual wear and tear of the body and brain, a slow, inevitable decline that begins sometime around middle age. However, over the past 20 years, an explosion of research from fields like neuroscience, epigenetics, and behavioral science has dramatically rewritten that story. What scientists have uncovered is both empowering and deeply practical. Many aspects of aging are profoundly modifiable by your daily habits. In fact, one groundbreaking study published in Nature Communications in 2021 estimated that up to 80% of biological aging can be influenced by behavior, lifestyle, and environment, not just genetics. Researchers like Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard and Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, who won the Nobel Prize for her work on telomeres, among others, have shown that the choices we make each day can literally impact how our cells age, how our brains maintain cognitive sharpness, and how our bodies stay strong, resilient, and vibrant. Here's the critical truth: chronological age is simply the number of years you've been alive. Biological age, on the other hand, is how old your cells and systems actually function. The gap between these two numbers can be surprisingly large depending on how you live. If you're over 50, this becomes even more crucial. This is the decade when many people begin to notice changes in strength, flexibility, memory, mood, sleep, and energy. But these aren't simply normal signs of getting older. More often, they are signals from the body that certain systems, like mitochondrial function, neuroplasticity, hormone regulation, and inflammation control, need targeted support. What's happening inside your body and brain is deeply fascinating. For example, your mitochondria, the tiny engines in your cells, start to produce less energy. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections, begins to slow. Inflammation, if left unchecked, quietly accelerates damage to tissues and organs. Hormonal shifts affect muscle mass, mood stability, and cognitive sharpness. But here's the good news: there are highly effective, scientifically validated habits that can slow and even reverse aspects of biological aging. In today's episode, we'll break down 6 golden habits, powerful daily practices that directly target these core biological processes. These aren't vague recommendations or fads. They are based on hard neuroscience, cellular biology, and clinical research. Most importantly, they are highly actionable. We'll explore topics like the one type of exercise that rewires your brain while preserving muscles, a nutritional strategy that activates cellular repair pathways, the surprising role of deliberate light exposure in regulating hormones that keep you young, and a simple yet profound breathing protocol that can lower inflammation and boost cognitive function. These tools are not about perfection or overnight transformation. Instead, they involve stacking small, science-backed actions that produce extraordinary long-term benefits. As Dr. Huberman often says, small behaviors applied consistently can shift the entire trajectory of your health span. So whether you're 50, 60, or 70, you're not too late. Your brain and body remain highly adaptable. The key is knowing where to intervene and how to begin. Let's dive into the first golden habit that helps keep you young, vibrant, and mentally sharp well beyond 50. At the core of staying young after 50 is the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself, neuroscience's concept of neuroplasticity. For much of the 20th century, the scientific community believed that neuroplasticity was exclusive to childhood, that young brains were malleable, while adult brains were more or less fixed. However, this belief has been completely overturned by modern neuroscience. Researchers like Dr. Michael Merzenich, a pioneer of neuroplasticity, have demonstrated that the human brain retains a powerful capacity to change, adapt, and grow throughout life, even into the 60s, 70s, and beyond. What changes, however, is how we activate neuroplasticity as we age. The research shows that after 50, deliberate learning of new skills becomes one of the most powerful levers for keeping the brain young. Every time you engage in learning a novel skill, whether it's a new language, musical instrument, dance, or complex motor task, you stimulate multiple brain regions: the prefrontal cortex of decision making, the hippocampus A memory formation, and the cerebellum movement and coordination. These regions work together to lay down new neural pathways, strengthen synaptic connections, and promote neurogenesis, the growth of new neurons. A study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2014 found that seniors who engaged in cognitively demanding skills like digital photography and quilting showed significant improvements in memory and executive function compared to passive activity groups. This matters because many cognitive declines associated with aging, such as slower processing speed, memory lapses, or multitasking difficulties, are largely tied to reductions in neuroplastic activity. By keeping neuroplasticity active, you're directly counteracting these declines. The key to activating neuroplasticity after 50 is combining novelty with focused effort. Think of your brain like a forest The more you walk a certain path, the more defined it becomes, but if you never create new trails, large parts of the forest remain unexplored. Novel learning creates those new pathways, keeping the entire forest vibrant and alive. A simple tool to apply is what I call the 90-day skill window. Every 90 days, commit to learning or improving one new skill. Whether it's basic piano lessons, a new language app, or a sport like pickleball or Tai Chi. Dedicate at least 20 to 30 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week, to this skill, focusing on challenging but achievable tasks. You might wonder if it's too late to learn something new. That's where the science is empowering. Studies on brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, often called miracle growth for the brain, show that learning stimulates BDNF production, which helps grow and maintain neurons. Importantly, BDNF remains responsive even after 50. A 2012 study in the Journal of Neuroscience demonstrated that adults aged 60 EPs engaged in cognitive training showed measurable increases in BDNF and improved memory. This means your brain is still highly responsive if you give it the right stimulus. There's also a psychological benefit. Novel learning sharpens cognitive function and cultivates a growth mindset, linked to higher life satisfaction, emotional resilience, and lower depression rates in older adults. In short, your brain is designed for growth. The more you challenge it, the younger it stays. Moving forward, remember that every new skill isn't just a hobby, it's medicine for your brain. Next, let's shift from the brain to something equally essential for aging well. Your cellular engines, the mitochondria. Known as the powerhouses of your cells, mitochondria produce the majority of your body's energy in the form of ATP. Mitochondrial function naturally declines after 50, leading to fatigue, slower recovery, metabolic dysfunction, and increased vulnerability to age-related diseases. The empowering news is that mitochondria are highly responsive to specific types of physical activity, particularly Zone 2 cardiovascular training. Zone 2 refers to low to moderate intensity aerobic exercise, about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate, such as brisk walking, light jogging, steady cycling, or swimming at a comfortable pace. Why is Zone 2 so critical? Because it maximizes mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new mitochondria, and enhances their efficiency. A 2021 review published in Cell Metabolism explains how regular Zone 2 training activates the PGC1 alpha pathway, a master switch for mitochondrial growth and function. The more mitochondria you have, and the more efficient they are, the more energy your body and brain can access, even as you age. Dr. Indigo San Milan, a leader in mitochondrial science and endurance coaching, has shown that modest amounts of Zone 2 work can restore mitochondrial function, improve metabolic flexibility, and reduce markers of insulin resistance and inflammation, key drivers of biological aging. To start, aim for 30 to 45 minutes of Zone 2 cardio 4 to 5 times per week. Use the talk test. You should be able to speak in full sentences but feel lightly challenged. Alternatively, estimate your target heart rate by subtracting your age from 220 and multiplying by 60 to 70%. Many ask if walking is enough, and the answer is yes, if it elevates your heart rate into Zone 2. Consistency is key. The real magic lies in sustained, regular moderate aerobic work that feeds your mitochondria. Additionally, studies in the Journal of Gerontology in 2017 show that Zone 2 cardio improves cerebral blood flow, enhances hippocampal volume A, important for memory, and reduces the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It also stimulates the release of mood-enhancing neurotransmitters, endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, that influence mood stability and motivation. Regular moderate cardio can even be as effective as antidepressants for some with mild to moderate depression. If this insight resonates, consider subscribing. There's much more science-backed content to help optimize your health and longevity. Combining neuroplasticity through learning and Zone 2 cardio keeps your brain and cellular energy systems vibrant, forming a powerful 1-2 punch against biological aging. Moving forward, we'll discuss how when you eat, not just what you eat, plays a critical role in cellular repair and longevity. We've covered how to keep your brain and mitochondria young. Now let's turn to a vital cellular process that acts like internal housekeeping for your body: autophagy. Derived from Greek words meaning self-eating. Autophagy is your body's way of cleaning out damaged cells, removing dysfunctional proteins, and recycling cellular components to keep you functioning optimally. This process becomes increasingly important after 50 as cellular debris and metabolic waste accumulate, contributing to inflammation, metabolic disorders, and even cancer. The fascinating part is that autophagy doesn't require drugs or supplements. It can be powerfully activated through behavior. Specifically, time-restricted eating TRE. TRE involves limiting your daily eating window, typically to 8-10 hours, and fasting for the remaining 14-16 hours. Unlike prolonged fasting, TRE is easier to sustain long-term and doesn't require significant caloric restriction, making it highly accessible. Research shows that TRE improves glucose regulation, lipid profiles, blood pressure, and markers of inflammation. A landmark study in Cell Metabolism in 2018 found that adults practicing TRE experienced these benefits without changing what they ate. It suggests that when you eat may be just as important as what you eat, especially for healthy aging. Why does TRE work so well for those over 50? Because aging tends to diminish insulin sensitivity, making glucose regulation more difficult. Fasting extends the period during which the body processes glucose and burns fat, restoring insulin sensitivity. Moreover, the fasting window triggers autophagy, clearing out damaged mitochondria and misfolded proteins that accelerate cellular aging. Think of your body as a large office building. If people are working around the clock, the cleaning crew can't do its job. But when the building is closed for several hours, cleanup happens efficiently. That's what autophagy does for your cells during fasting. Here's a simple protocol to begin. Start with a 4-20-10 fasting eating window. Fast for 14 hours. Eat within a 10-hour window, such as from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. As your body adjusts, you can progress to a 16x8 schedule. Stay hydrated with water, black coffee, or herbal tea during the fast. Avoid highly processed foods during your eating window to maximize autophagy's benefits. A 2020 review in the New England Journal of Medicine emphasizes that TRE improves metabolic markers, reduces oxidative stress, enhances cognitive function, and may lower neurodegenerative disease risk. Many worry about muscle loss or weakness during fasting. When implemented correctly, paired with adequate protein intake, something we'll cover shortly, TRE can help preserve lean muscle mass, boost growth hormone secretion, and support muscle maintenance and fat metabolism after 50. Plus, fasting can improve appetite regulation, reduce late-night cravings, improve sleep, and stabilize energy levels. Think of TR not as a diet, but as a daily rhythm that aligns with your body's natural repair cycles. Next, we'll explore a practice equally powerful that influences nearly every hormone and system in your body, but is often overlooked: strategic light exposure. Most understand that sleep is critical for healthy aging, but light is the master control switch governing sleep, hormone balance, mood, metabolism, and immune function. Your body operates on a 24-hour biological rhythm, your circadian clock, and light, especially natural sunlight, is the most powerful regulator of this clock. Research led by Dr. Sachin Panda has shown that the brain's suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, the central pacemaker, is directly wired to retinal cells that detect light. When light enters your eyes in the morning, it sends a potent signal to the SCN that it's time to start the biological day. This increases cortisol for alertness, suppresses melatonin to wake you up, and initiates downstream processes that regulate energy metabolism and cellular repair. This becomes especially critical after 50, as circadian rhythm amplitude tends to weaken. The peaks and valleys of hormone release, body temperature, and gene expression become blunted, leading to fragmented sleep, fatigue, mood instability, and increased risk of chronic disease. Targeted light exposure can restore circadian rhythm precision. It's simple, free, and profoundly effective. Start with morning light exposure. Go outside within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Expose your eyes to natural outdoor light for 5-10 minutes on sunny days or 15-20 minutes on cloudy days. Avoid looking directly at the sun, but let natural light enter your eyes without sunglasses or window blocks. This triggers a strong cortisol pulse, aligning your brain and body for optimal energy, mood, and cognition. It also helps set the phase for melatonin release at night. In the evening, manage light exposure to prevent circadian disruption. Dim indoor lights after sunset. Avoid bright overhead lighting and blue light screens for 1-2 hours before bed, and use warm, colored lights or amber glasses to minimize blue light that suppresses melatonin. Excessive artificial light at night delays melatonin secretion, fragments sleep, and impairs growth hormone release, all accelerating aging. If natural sunlight isn't accessible, high-quality light therapy lamps, a 10,000 lux, can be a helpful substitute. However, natural outdoor light remains superior because of its broad spectrum and biological synchrony. Light isn't just something you see, it's information that governs hormones, gene expression, and overall health. Moving to the next golden habit, we'll discuss preserving muscle mass through protein intake and resistance training. Sarcopenia, the gradual loss of skeletal muscle mass, begins subtly in the 5th decade and accelerates after 60. Research estimates that adults lose 3-8% of muscle mass per decade after age 30. The good news is that sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It can be halted and even reversed well into older age. The two key behaviors are adequate protein intake and resistance training. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using dietary protein, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance, meaning older adults need more protein per meal to stimulate muscle growth. The target supported by research from Dr. Stuart Phillips at McMaster University is about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. For example, if you weigh 70 kgs, 154 obese, aim for 84 to 100 grams of protein daily, spread across 3-4 meals. Prioritize high-quality sources like eggs, lean poultry, fish, dairy, legumes, and consider supplements like whey or plant-based powders if needed. Resistance training is the most potent non-pharmaceutical tool to stimulate muscle growth and preserve function. It provides mechanical tension that activates pathways like mTOR, which governs muscle protein synthesis and cellular repair. A 2019 meta-analysis confirms that resistance training improves muscle mass, strength, and functional capacity, even into older age. Many benefits occur within 12-16 weeks of consistent effort. Start with 2-3 full body sessions per week, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, push-ups, rows, and presses. Use 2-3 sets of 8-12 repetitions, gradually increasing resistance. If new to resistance training or dealing with joint issues, working with a qualified trainer ensures safety and proper technique. Even bodyweight exercises or resistance bands can be effective. The importance of muscle isn't just aesthetic, it's metabolic currency. More muscle improves insulin sensitivity, reduces fall and fracture risk, enhances cognitive function, and lowers systemic inflammation. Many ask if they are too old to start. The answer, strongly supported by research, is no. Starting at any age delivers meaningful benefits, and earlier is always better. Finally, we explore a practice that helps regulate stress, optimize your nervous system, and support longevity at the cellular level: controlled breathing protocols. Your autonomic nervous system has two branches: sympathetic, fight or flight, and parasympathetic, rest and digest. Chronic stress, common with aging, often leads to sympathetic dominance, keeping your body in a prolonged state of arousal. This elevates inflammation, impairs sleep, accelerates aging, and increases disease risk. The good news is that you have direct control over your nervous system through breathing. Breathing is unique because it's both involuntary and voluntary, giving you a lever to influence your state in real time. When you engage in controlled breathing, it recalibrates brainstem nuclei like the locus coeruleus and the vagus nerve, promoting parasympathetic activation. One effective protocol is physiological sighing, a deep inhale through the nose, a second quick inhale to fully inflate the lungs, then a slow, complete exhale through the mouth. Repeat for 5-10 cycles or as needed. This pattern reduces sympathetic tone, offloads carbon dioxide, and activates the vagus nerve, producing a calming effect. Regular practice enhances your heart rate variability, a key biomarker of resilience and longevity. Another powerful method is box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and repeat for 5-10 minutes. Studies show this stabilizes cortisol levels, improves sleep, and enhances cognitive function by balancing prefrontal cortex activity. Breath control is brain control. It allows you to shift your internal state not through willpower, but through biology. Brief sessions in the morning or before bed work well, and these tools can be employed during moments of stress or frustration to regain composure. Consistent daily practice strengthens vagal tone, lowers inflammation, and supports emotional and physiological balance, contributing to both lifespan and health span. If you found value in these science-backed tools, I invite you to subscribe. We're building a community grounded in actionable neuroscience and practical strategies for a longer, healthier life. To conclude, healthy aging isn't about avoiding decline. It's about signaling your biology that you are still adapting, growing, and fully engaged in life. It's the result of consistently applying small, powerful behaviors rooted in science, each one a building block toward resilience at the cellular, hormonal, and neurological levels. Remember these habits: neuroplasticity training, zone 2 cardio, time-restricted eating, strategic light exposure, muscle preservation through protein and resistance training, and controlled breathing work together to slow aging and enhance your vitality. They don't require extreme diets, dangerous supplements, or unrealistic commitments. Instead, they ask for something more powerful: consistent daily respect for your body's systems. Start today by choosing one protocol from these 6 habits that feels most accessible. Begin applying it this week, observe your body's response, and layer in others over time. You are not at the mercy of your age. You're influencing how your genes express themselves every day through your behaviors. If you found value in this deep dive, I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experiences in the comments. Not only does it help grow this science-based community, but it also allows us to continue exploring more actionable tools together. Thank you for your time and focus today. Your brain, your body, and your future self will thank you.